Michael Jarvis. I'll be giving this speech for my communications class at Liberty University. I'm going to be talking about PTSD today, and I'm going to start with an introduction about PTSD so we can get more familiar with it, along with statistics and how many people are affected within the United States and some treatment options that I think are the better treatment options out there. It's too common that we send men and women into uniform overseas and have them come home with issues and not take care of them. We've made a lot of advancements recently, and I'm going to start talking some about that later on. There's about 2.3 million Americans who served as veterans from the Afghanistan and Iraq war. With that said, about 20% of these individuals experience some form of PTSD, with fewer that have more traumatic issues with it. So with that said, it's likely that you may know somebody who has some form of PTSD or know somebody who knows somebody, so this speech could be pretty helpful. Nebraska Department of Veteran Affairs for PTSD, they describe it as a psychological condition that can occur once you experience a life-threatening event, such as military combat. There are 3 different types of symptoms that you can have: avoidance, numbness, and arousal. Some of these symptoms can be flashbacks, avoidance, isolation, outburst, tension. So that's kind of just the basics of PTSD. We're not going to dive too much into it, but we all know mostly what PTSD is. Does anyone, do you know what PTSD stands for?
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
So it's post-traumatic stress disorder. Next, I will discuss the statistics of our men and women in uniform within the United States who served in combat. The United States Department of Veteran Affairs say that 5.2 million adults have some form of PTSD. During that portion, there's a small amount that have a traumatic disorder. With these causes and symptoms, we need to communicate treatment. So some treatments that I would like to talk about is dog aids. I think it's a really new thing that's coming about, and everyone's experiencing it, and there's a lot of positive results coming from it. There's a program out there, and it's called Warrior Canine Connection. These dogs are used for therapy to help with that individual and to reconnect their families. Meg Daly from Warrior Canine Connection states that the bonds between the dog has the ability for a biological chemical that stimulates the brain that helps with these men and women in uniform with their PTSD. It gives them a kind of a companionship that they can lean on. PTSD is not going away anytime soon, so the more that we look at it in an aspect of maybe even in a God's value, as of, take care of your neighbors and do the right thing to help them. I mean, we have to be proactive about it. We have to take a stand about it. And if we do that, then we can hopefully have a better Veterans Day next year. That's all I got. Thank you.